President Trump announced he'd be carrying out his initiative to round up and mass deport thousands of undocumented migrants back to their home countries fairly soon. This comes almost 2 weeks after he called off threatened raids to, quote, see if the Democrats and Republicans can get together and work out a solution to the asylum and loophole problems at the southern border. But a week later at the G20 summit, he said immigration raids would likely take place sometime after the July 4th holiday. It comes just as more reports reveal that the administration has been sending hefty fines of up to nearly $500,000 to migrants who seek refuge in places of worship. Joining me now is Democratic Representative from Texas, Marc Veasey, who traveled to El Paso to visit several detention facilities in the area. Congressman, good to see you. Thank you for being with us.
Ali.
The president has implied that what congressmen are seeing, either they're being dishonest about it or they're not actually seeing. What have you seen, and how does that compare to what other congressmen have told us, other members of Congress have told us, and our own reporters have seen about overcrowding and the shortage of food and blankets and things like that?
Right, exactly. Well, I was on the trip to El Paso several days ago, and we visited one of the detention centers there that was under a lot of scrutiny. And what we saw was at least one holding cell that was crowded, and they had Cuban migrants that were placed in this particular cell, and they told us the reason why they were in such an overcrowded cell was because the Cubans didn't mix well with the other people from Latin American countries, and so they wanted to keep them together in that cell. They were crying, they were sad. One grandmother told a story of her mentally impaired grandson being separated from her, and they did tell members of the delegation that when they asked for water, that they were told to drink out of the toilet. Now, you know, I have to tell you, based on this Facebook page that came out, and that story actually broke while we were on our trip to El Paso, I believe that the Border Patrol agents did tell them that. I absolutely believe that they've been mean to these people.
Tell me the connection between the two, because you know that there are almost 10,000 people on this Facebook page in which it has Customs and Border Protection employees and officers saying disparaging, sexist, racist, misogynistic things about both members of Congress and migrants, asylum seekers, even people crossing the river.
Right. Yeah, I think it's a broader part of the culture there, and you mean now it's actually broken that they have actually known about this page perhaps for up to 3 years, and this was and they were not surprised about this when we got there and we talked with the Custom and Border Patrol people that were in charge of our tour. They told us, "Oh my God, we've never heard of this." But come on, 3 years? If that's true, then that means that we were lied to, that members of Congress were lied to on the trip about this page. And again, the fact that they would be mean to people and that there were kids that were in overcrowded conditions that were walking around with mucus-filled shirts, stories that were told to us, stories that, in my opinion, were backed up by the IG's report, and even the acting Homeland Secretary said that the conditions there are not good. I mean, everything that I've heard from the migrants when I was there on my trip, I 100% believe.
Congressman, the president talked about it this morning. He says members of Congress are attacking Border Patrol. Let's listen.
I've seen some of those places, and they are run beautifully. They're clean. They're good. They do a great job. They do a great job. They're crowded because the Democrats will not give us any relief from these loopholes. We have loopholes that are so bad. We have asylum that's so bad. I think that the Border Patrol's been treated very, very badly by certain members of Congress, very, very badly. For the most part, they're very respected by Congress, but certain members of Congress say very bad things and lie and exaggerate.
So what do you have to say about that, Congressman? He's saying that certain members of Congress lie and exaggerate, but in fact, this Border Patrol stuff wasn't actually reported by members of Congress. It was reported by somebody in that group who leaked it to ProPublica.
Yeah, that is absolutely right. And, you know, the president has never seen a lie that he didn't like. And right now he's just spinning. He's playing politics like he's been playing politics with these migrants. And absolutely, Ali, everything that I've heard about and everything that the president has, you know, he's tried to almost like pit the Border Patrol agents and tried to make this a political issue. But I will tell you that there was another Border Patrol agent. You may have saw the interview, and he even backed up the deplorable conditions in which the migrants were living in. And so I don't see this as an issue of Democrats versus Border Patrol agents. I think that there are some agents there that feel like that they are empowered to do anything that they want to do because of the direction that they get from the executive branch, from the statements that come out of the president's mouth, from the actions that come out of the president's immigration policy people like Stephen Miller. I think that that sort of culture has been allowed to exist there, but I by no means think that every Border Patrol agent is a bad person. We even heard from lawyers and other people before we began our tour in El Paso that wanted to let us know that some of these Border Patrol agents are members of the community in good standing. We work with them. That they were part of their families, and that they certainly did not paint them with a broad brush. And I'm not trying to do that right now. I'm saying that they have a problem there, and it needs to be rooted out. And I'm very happy that Elijah Cummings is going to hold a hearing on oversight and investigation so we can look into some of these allegations, not just with the Facebook page, but the overcrowded conditions.
Congressman, good to talk to you. Thank you for taking time to discuss with us. Representative Marc Veasey of Texas. All right.